Well, good morning to you. It is 7:56, and I tell you what, did you have some storms at your house last night? Did it knock out your internet, or maybe your TV, or maybe your audio? That's what happened to us. An hour ago, we went on my iPhone, letting you know that we had an incredible story today about a 13-year-old who is truly thriving, striving in life to change the world. And that is exactly what we're doing here for you. What was it, March 1st, when we first went on from my house? We've really built a long way of what we have been wanting to do. Built an incredible studio, built a community, and that's what it's all about. One of the most forgiving communities that I've ever seen, and the most dedicated communities I've ever seen. So one of the things I wanted to do is to make sure that you knew that we are here for you, that Haley is here with us. Haley Tracy is her name. She's 13 years old. We're going to tell her story about surviving cancer. Just a week after her first birthday, she was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. We're going to talk with not only Haley, but her mother, Cass Tracy, as well. And then Heather Bachman, who is with Camp Rainbow, she'll be joining us, talking about the incredible things that Camp Rainbow is doing. That's all coming up for you. We're going to go on with you for an hour, and I know we're coming on a little bit later than we normally would, so hopefully you can share this video, tell your friends. In fact, I always believe that God works in the most mysterious ways, so maybe he thought that we would have a bigger audience after 8 o'clock. Maybe that's his thing today, and that's fine with me. Let's grow this. Let's let people know that normally don't get a chance to see us, that we're here for you. So share, like, follow, post, tweet, text, I don't care. Just tell the world that we're on, and today we're talking about surviving and thriving. And again, we're going to talk about Camp Rainbow. We have 3 guests that will be on with us here in the next hour. I've got my Facebook page on, but I also want to let you know that we're streaming live on YouTube. So 7 a.m. is normally when we come on for you, but now we're going to go into the 8 o'clock hour. Again, for those of you that know anyone that is not on Facebook, let them know that they can watch us right now on YouTube as well. It's youtube.com/TheRealMonicaAdams. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Haley, I'm going to introduce you to this beautiful 13-year-old Haley Tracy. She goes to school in the Fox C6 school district. So shout out to Fox, as well as her mom Cass, coming up in the blue chairs when we return. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment, or online, EnvitaHealthAndWellness.com. Welcome back. It is straight up 8 o'clock. I feel like I'm back in news. It's 8 o'clock on the nose, and we're ready to kick things off for you on a Monday morning. Welcome into the show, by the way. It is an hour later than you're used to, but that's a good thing, because maybe this is where our bigger audience will be on a Monday. It's really interesting how life works, isn't it? But you always have to keep a smile on your face. Never let it shatter you. I know it's very easy to get angry and feel like the world's just shutting you down, because again, if it doesn't go as you expect it to go, then you've got to pray on it, which I was doing for the last hour and a half. Like, let the audio find itself. God love George. He's in here restacking the entire show. So if you were wondering what happened, that's what happened. I think the storms did something to our cameras and our audio, and so that's why we're coming on to you a little bit later. But for the community that's coming on right now, you're here. I can see you. Feel free to give aha moments. Let me know if you see yourself in this story, or if this young little 13-year-old inspires you to understand that whatever you're going through in life, that you will get through it by the community that surrounds you. And that's the whole thing, is family and friends lean in on them when you are struggling the most. Okay, thank you so much. I'm Monica Adams. It's the Real Monica Adams Show, brought to you by our incredible friends at Envita Health and Wellness, as well as Carroll House Furniture. Thank you, by the way, for this beautiful set. Also, Aldor Indoor Air Quality Specialist, and our beautiful palm trees from Florida Direct Palm Trees. And this beautiful face right here. Look it. All right, let's kick things off for you. This is 13-year-old Haley Tracy. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for weathering the storm, the true storm, and then the craziness, but it gave us time to interact and get to know each other. And she even poured me some incredible pink lemonade, which we'll talk about. You've got both regular lemonade and pink lemonade that you've been making.
Yes.
Let's also introduce your wonderful mother. So we've got Haley Tracy and we've got Cass Tracy. Thank you, Cass.
Thanks for having us.
Cass and I just met last night and we're interacting about this story, and I want to thank my friend Angie for actually telling me about this story. So let's go to Haley first. So Haley, you came up with an idea back in 2017 to do a lemonade stand, and we're going to talk with your mom in just a second about the story that you went through long before that. But when you were 7 years old?
Yep.
You decided to do a lemonade stand to give to Camp Rainbow. Why?
Well, I kind of just wanted to give back to them for everything they've done for me, because I've been going there since I was 4 years old, and it's a big part of my summer, which I love.
So can you tell us what Camp Rainbow is?
So Camp Rainbow is a camp. They have multiple different camps for kids with cancer and other blood-related diseases. And so there's a day camp, which I went to when I was 4, and then when you're 6, you can go to overnight camp. And then when you're 13, that's your last year at overnight. And then the next 2 years, you can go to teen camp until you're 16, and then you can become a counselor, which is what I hope to do.
So she wants to just keep giving back and keep giving back. So why the lemonade stand?
Well, lemonade stands are like a staple for the summer, so kind of that.
And you set it up right where your mom and dad have a fireworks stand, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk to mom here for a second. So wow, what an incredible little girl you have here. You are big. She's tall, actually.
She's bigger than me, yes.
Exactly. So we're going to talk to Cass. Cass, let me go all the way back though, and then we'll come back to this lemonade stand. So she was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia a week after her birthday.
Yes.
So here you just celebrate her 1-year birthday like most parents do, and they're all excited. And then what happened? How did you find out?
So actually right before her birthday, we noticed a lump in her underarm. And so for her 1-year checkup, we took her in and they monitored that for a year. And then a week later, we went back. It wasn't any different. And they sent us in to get some blood work. And within about 45 minutes, we were told that she had leukemia. And we were admitted into the hospital that day. And she started treatment right away. And it just totally changed our lives from that point.
Well, I was just going to ask you that. So what goes through your mind, your husband, Phil, what goes through your mind at that point of why, I mean, usually it's why my child, right?
Yeah, like, is there something we could have done different? She was so young, like what causes a baby to end up with cancer? So we just, I don't know that I thought a whole lot about it. He did a little bit more research and thought about it. I just was a little bit just numb and following what the doctor said and tried not to think about it too much beyond that because it was so overwhelming. So we just did what they told us to do and kept on, kept positive and, I don't know.
And at that point, you have to lean in on those who are there for you the most, right? Mm-hmm. Family, friends. This is, honestly, Cass, isn't this when you find out who your true friends are?
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
So she's 1 year old, and you had mentioned that she was at St. John's Mercy, Big
Mm-hmm.
Mercy, at that time. Now, you had mentioned that she was only in the hospital for a week, and then she had a port put in, right?
Yes, yep. She had her port put in with that initial stay at the hospital, and then from there, we would just get treatments at the cancer center. And then throughout her treatment, she was extremely lucky to respond so well to her medication, her treatment, and we only spent one other night in the hospital.
She had a fever, right?
She had a fever, yep. That was the only other time we had to spend in the hospital, so.
So she went through chemotherapy treatments
Mhm.
through the port?
Mhm.
Okay, but never radiation.
No, she did not have to get radiation.
So again, when we talk about boulders and pebbles in life, you look at it and you might hear stories of babies having to be in the hospital during COVID. The parents weren't even able to be in there.
Right.
So it's hard. You don't want your child obviously to have cancer, but you start trying to think of the positives. I'm sure that's what you did.
Right.
So what year was this?
So this was in 2011.
2011. Okay.
Mhm.
So again, if you're just tuning in this morning, it's 8:06 and we're on a little bit later than we normally are because of the storms last night, but we are on now telling the story of 13-year-old Haley Tracy. Her mother, Cass Tracy, is on with us as well. We're talking about what she went through, how she survived that, and now how she is thriving. So she goes through the treatments for 2.5 years?
2.5 years, yeah.
And so normally I hear that doctors, nurses at the hospitals, et cetera, will say if you get beyond 5 years, that do they ever actually say that they're cancer free? Do they want to
Yes.
say those words? They do.
Yes.
I know it used to be that they were like, well, we want to be able to say that. So you've been told the words, you are cancer free. What does that
Yes.
mean to you, Haley?
It's very important because I know other people that are not cancer free and they're still dealing with that, and it's really like happy to know that I am cancer free.
Yeah, absolutely, young woman, absolutely. So we were looking at some of the pictures of you when you were just a baby. So you were just a week after your 1 year birthday. You went through it for 2.5 years. Do you have any recollection of that? Or when you
No.
see those pictures, do you think that, I don't remember that?
I don't remember
Yeah.
any of it,
Yeah.
really, because I was so young in the hospital.
After she went through it for 2.5 years, what did she have to do after that point, up until, what, about 5 or 6?
Yeah, so then we would just go once a month for a checkup, and at this point, we are down to once a year. She just has to go in for a checkup.
Fantastic. I don't think you want to go in the hospitals much anymore. Right? You're like, somebody's sick, aunt and uncle, no, I don't want to go visit. Just tuning in right now, it is the Real Monica Adams Show, and we're talking about a story of surviving and then thriving. So again, this is Haley. She's now 13. Where do you go to school?
I go to Ridgewood Middle School.
And that's in the Foxy School District?
Yes.
Foxy 6. Did you want to say hi to anybody?
Hi to all my friends from school. I don't know if you're watching, but I know some of your parents are right now. So
Yeah.
hi.
And we can have them, we can always share this, of course, so they can see you a little bit later. So, okay, so you go through that. You hear the words that you're cancer-free, which is absolutely incredible. And then you went to Camp Rainbow when you said when you were 6?
When I was 4, I
When you were
did
4.
day camp.
Oh, day camp at 4. Okay. Okay. So how did you find out first about Camp Rainbow?
Through the doctor's office.
Ah.
They told us about it. And Camp Rainbow would come into the doctor's office and do fun activities with the kids in the office. And then they would visit kids that are in the hospital and can't leave. And so they would do like arts and crafts projects and stuff like that, fun things for the kids to participate. So I think maybe we did that first in the office, and then we were told about day camp, and she could go to that when she was 4.
And they need that, right? You just talked
Mhm.
about trying to keep a smile on their face, which is
Yes.
one of the most difficult things. I mean,
Right.
you know, it's one thing to be diagnosed with cancer as an adult, be
Mhm.
stricken with that, know about it,
Right.
hear it in the news, I think we all would raise our hand by saying that we all know someone that has had cancer. But a young child has no idea of what
Mhm.
they're going through. Why is this port inside of me, right? She doesn't remember any of that, which
Right.
is a good thing,
Right.
but you'll never forget it.
Right. Yeah, when she got her port taken out, she was scared because she didn't know how it would feel when it would grow back.
Ah.
Because she just thought that was a part of her.
Ah.
So, she didn't remember having it put in, and to know that that wasn't supposed to be there. So,
What do
yeah,
you
she
remember
had
from
no
that?
idea.
I don't remember any of it, like I said, but we have like pictures and videos of that time.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to think that I didn't know
Yeah.
about it.
Sure. So when you think about your story, though, before we even get into the lemonade stand, when you think about the fact that you have survived that, what goes through your mind? What is your emotion?
I feel like I'm very blessed that that happened, and that now that I am cancer free, I need to give back to other people.
And boom, that's where this idea of the lemonade stand came from. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the first year that Haley decided to have this lemonade stand, which was back in 2017, and the amount of money that was raised at that point. And she could have stopped there, but she didn't. She continued to set goals. And in fact, she added to the lemonade stand during the pandemic. We'll tell you what she did then and how you had her do something custom. By the way, I have the lemonade, and I'm going to get the recipe from her in just a second. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break.
Warm weather, sand beaches, and boats galore. It's not Florida, it's a Lake of the Ozarks. Florida Direct Palm Trees brings tropical flair to your patios, docks, and yards. From a few feet all the way to 25 feet, there are palm trees for every property. Florida Direct also provides palm tree potting soil, palm fertilizer, large decorative pots, and a wide selection of locally grown tropical flowers and plants to add the perfect accent to your tropical paradise. Florida Direct Palm Trees, bringing paradise to your patio for 14 plus years.
All right, welcome back. It is 8:11, and I appreciate the comments. I've got somebody that said the storm must have had an effect on the sound. I hear, but it's muffled, so I'm hoping you can hear us okay. The message is really what I want you to get across. But thank you for responding. Anybody else, you can let us know how things are sounding on your end. We are watching, says Julie Wolfslaw. Is that friends of yours? Yes. Amanda Coleman. We're here. Haley, they're here for you, just as you have been there for the community. If you're just tuning in, by the way, you normally don't see us past 8 o'clock. That's because of the storms, and I'm hoping that everything sounds okay to you. If not, we'll get these gremlins fixed after the show. But again, a lot of storms last night had us come on to you a little bit later, but no matter what, I wanted to make sure that we were here for you to tell this story, Haley's story, and maybe some of you know a young child that has been through cancer, or you yourself has been through cancer, and you're wondering, how do I survive? Because it's difficult for me to think of going through this, right? Or as a parent, you think of a young child. I used to do the St. Jude Radiothon, and I used to walk through the halls of St. Jude in Memphis, Tennessee, and just, you think about the fact that you, as a parent, I used to always interview them, and they would always say, I just feel like I wanted to take their place.
Mm-hmm.
Cass, I'm sure you said the same thing. I'm sure you and Phil said the same thing.
Right. Yeah, we weren't really even aware of childhood cancer until it happened to us. So we feel like this was our wake-up call, and to do something to give back and to bring more awareness to this community and, you know, open our eyes and our friends and family and give back. And, you know, it wasn't something on our radar before Haley had cancer. So,
you know, sometimes people say the why me, and then you have people that will thrive like Haley has, and then they'll do, well, why not me? Why not? Maybe I was chosen for a reason to make a difference, as she has. So if you didn't hear, Haley started a lemonade stand. So you all have had the fireworks stand right there at 141 and 21 for how long?
So my uncle started the business in 1990, and I started helping him then. So this was, I don't know, my 34th year or
Holy
something
cow!
like that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
something
we all
like
know
that.
it. It's right there by the Quick Trip.
Yes.
Right
yes.
across from the Pink Elephant.
Yes.
I used to live there in my beginning, like when I first started in radio 30 years,
Mhm.
29, 30 years ago. That's a long time ago, Haley. When I first started, I lived in those townhouses directly across from the Pink Elephant.
We
so
were right next to
I used to
those.
support your stand,
Yes.
absolutely. So you have the fireworks stand. So she
Mhm.
grows up around the fireworks stand,
Yes.
and then she says, "Well, I want to do something." So you
Yes.
come up with lemonade. It's hot during June and July. People buying fireworks, so they want this. They want lemonade. Did you do pink lemonade and lemonade from the get-go, or did you start just with regular lemonade?
I did both from the get-go.
You did?
Yes.
Okay, so this is interesting because when we were in the conference room together, you said more people are picking pink, which I'm surprised. The traditional lemonade, is it just because, Cass, you were saying probably the novelty of it all?
I don't know, but it seems to sell twice as fast as the regular lemonade. Yeah.
Did
You
you like?
make more pink than normal.
Did you run out in the beginning and think, I didn't think much pink would sell? I would think so. Okay, I'm going to take a drink, by the way. Let's see how good this is. Everybody's donating for this stuff. What's in that?
Love and sugar. That's all I can say.
She's keeping it a secret. Love and sugar. So a lot of you that bake, you know that that's exactly what you would say, right? It's the love that goes into your recipe. Well, there's a lot of love from this little girl, obviously. So let's go to this. So in 2017, you kick off your lemonade stand. And did you set a goal at that point of how much you wanted to raise?
Not really at that point because I didn't know how it would do since it was just new and nobody had seen it before.
So you raised that first year how much?
600 and I believe
$43,
yes.
right? Look, I did my research. $643. So what goes through your mind at that point? Are you pretty excited about that money?
Yes.
You should have been.
Yeah.
And you were, what, 7 at that point? $643 to a 7-year-old, that's a lot of money. I know in this economy we look at it and go, yeah, as an adult, but that's a lot of money as a kid. Like, even $20 you would have been excited about. How much were you selling the lemonade for at that point?
Ever since 2017, it's always been $1.
Oh, so you've never changed it?
Mm-mm.
Well, you know there's inflation.
I realize that.
So we're going to, if we can go back, so 2017, okay, we're going to run through them, that's okay. So 2017, you raised $643, it was right back there, $643, and then, did you know from the beginning, if we can go back one step, George, from the very beginning, did you know that you wanted to go and give back, there it is, to Camp Rainbow, and always to Camp Rainbow?
Yes.
So no matter when you do this, it's always going to that organization, right?
Yes.
All because of the fact that you went there when you were 4 and you just loved it. What did you love most about Camp Rainbow?
The community, like everybody connects because they've been through basically the same thing. And then it's just a fun experience because of all the activities you get to do together, and it's just so much love.
So when you were 7, and we're going to step through all these years that you've been going, when you were 7, can you remember what the most enjoyable thing was for you back in that year? Or say, actually, well, you probably don't remember much around 4, do you? When do you first remember? 4, 5, 6? What's your first great memory of Camp Rainbow?
During day camp, I remember always doing this thing where they hung donuts and you had to like eat them.
On a string?
Yeah.
I did that when I was a kid.
No, with your hands tied behind your back.
Yes.
And it was the most hilarious thing ever.
We used to do that bobbing for apples, right? Those kind of things. So yeah, absolutely. See, those are fun memories, and you've got to create the smiles because it's hard times that they're obviously going through. So you do that. You raise $643, and then you say, "I'm going to do it again." And then now the people that are coming to your fireworks stand, do they know that this is going to be something synonymous with you? That they were going to do it every year?
I don't think so. No.
It was a surprise to them coming up?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to 2018. And there's a huge step up from $643. 2018, you raised like a little over $1,800, right? I think, let me look here. I wrote it down, I believe. Oh, he's got it. There we go. $1,811.22. That has to blow your mind.
Yes. It's a giant step from only a little over $600 to
Well,
over
you went over
1,000.
double it.
Yes.
That's incredible. So what do you think? What do you think made you raise that much money at that point?
I think that after people knew about it and what a good cause it was, then they decided to donate more money.
Ah,
And all the love in the lemonade.
you gave
They
more
came
love.
back.
Do you give more love every year? A little more of yourself? A little more sugar? A lot more sugar? It's 8:19, and I know you might be thinking, oh, wow, Monica's not usually on in this hour. Well, we are, so if you're just tuning in, welcome aboard, by the way. This is what we do for you every morning. Smiles like this, tears sometimes. That's why we have Kleenex on set. There's crying, there's laughter, that's life, right? But we have got to find our way to make the lemonade that she's making when life hands you lemons. And you're sitting there like, what do we do? Well, they've been there. The Tracy family has been there. She was diagnosed just a week after her 1-year birthday. The elation of a child turning 1, and then boom, you're on the top of the mountain and you get knocked down. And then they lean in on their faith and family and friends to pick them back up. And then here she is going to Camp Rainbow at 4, and then she does this lemonade stand, and $643, $1,811, and you say there's no giving up. So we go to 2019. 2019, what do you raise?
We raised.
We're going to put it up. I think you do like 1,900, I think. 2019, $1,951.15. So you continue to go up. Now, just as I said, Haley, life happens. What happens in 2020, Haley?
Then COVID.
Oh, yeah. Then the pandemic happens. Now, at that point, you're holding this in June, right? You do right before 4th of July. Okay, we're going to stay right there. Stay right there. Always got chills. Stay right there on that screen. That is in the middle of the pandemic, or the beginning of the pandemic, which actually I think is even worse because at that point everyone has no idea what to do. In fact, Haley and Cass, I remember it being March 19th, my birthday. We go out to dinner on the very last night that all restaurants were open was on my birthday. And we stopped by my mom and my mom's house. I almost said my dad. Wow, my dad's been gone since I was 23. Wow, hi Dad. So we stopped by my mom's house, and my mom's in the background of these pictures because we were like, my mom's like, honey, come and give me a hug. And she's like, no, I'm not supposed to. Or actually, I'm sorry, I said we're not supposed to. At that point, Haley, you remember, we were all like, are we supposed to wear a mask? What do the masks do? It was so confusing. So now that's March. April, May, June, this is 3 months later that you're holding this. So is everybody coming up to the stand with masks on? Are they not hugging, not shaking hands, or what was going on at that point?
Basically, nobody was interacting much.
Yeah.
And so I was worried that nobody wanted to get lemonade because they didn't think it would be safe at that point.
I would think so too, but $2,691.07 is what was just on the screen. That's what you raised in 2020. Do you understand how huge that is? Well, I mean, what does that make? Look at you, and you're so cute there. Look at those. I love those shorts, by the way. I think my godchild had the same ones.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to get to that. We're going to pause on that. That's the next year. So there is no slowing down. But that still has to blow your mind that you went from $643, $1,811. You go up to, you go to $2,200 in the pandemic. You know the people are on your side at that point, don't you?
Yes.
And not just your side, but the side of every family that's going through cancer. That's incredible. Did you think, now the pandemic is underway, now we're in 2021, now people are still, we're hearing the stories of people in the hospital, people are scared. Do you think that it's going to drop down, or at any point did you think of not holding it because people might not want you touching the lemonade? I mean, it's all those things that we didn't know about.
Well, I still thought that even if they didn't want lemonade, they would still donate because that's what had happened too
Yep.
in the past.
Yep.
So I wanted to hold it no matter what,
Yep.
to get any money at all, no matter what it was.
And so besides that, so the lemonade happened, and from day one she did the traditional lemonade, and then she did the pink lemonade. Again, she's not giving me the recipe, but she just told me lots of love and sugar. You then go into not just doing lemonade, but paintings. Now the paintings, did those come in 2020?
Those came during COVID, yes.
Okay, 2020, but you weren't just doing paintings, you had to do custom paintings.
Well, it all started because teachers that were at my elementary school, they wanted paintings to hang up in the room. So I was like, sure, I will do that. But then, like, everybody wanted custom paintings.
This is little Van Gogh here. Like, what were the paintings?
They were all custom. Nobody had the same thing.
Of course not.
So our elementary, it does a thing where each classroom has like a theme, like a certain animal to go with the last name. Like my third grade teacher was Daniel's Dolphins,
Oh,
so she
cute.
wanted a dolphin painting, so I did that.
Do you like art, first of all?
Yes,
Okay.
I love art.
Well, good. So that didn't seem like an arduous thing for her to do. She enjoyed it. I also was told you did some planets.
Yes, that's what I was originally gonna do.
Oh, just
So
planets.
Yeah, just like space themed
Okay.
paintings.
Do you
But
like the
then-
galaxy?
Yes.
You are my godchild. That is my godchild. Her whole room was like this galaxy thing, and I swear she had those shorts. I gotta introduce you to, because she's almost gonna be 13. I think these two might be friends. Maybe that's why we met, so they could be friends. She's in the Lindbergh school. I mean, I'm seriously gonna introduce you to, because you probably have a lot in common here. So planets is what your first idea was. That's what you started with, and then you did a dolphin. What was the most difficult painting you did?
Well, my second grade teacher, she wanted me to do a crocodile.
A crocodile.
That was probably the hardest thing to do, trying to get it to look like a crocodile when I'm like so young. I was not the best at painting back then, but somehow I did it.
So paintings and lemonade is what you just saw that it says cancer survivor and then fundraising superstar. That's what they said, what should we put as her title? And I said superstar, because she is that. The paintings though stop at some point because it got to be too
That
much.
was the only year.
Okay.
Because it took me around a whole year to get all the paintings done because of how many there were, and I was doing them like all the time in my free time.
You were like knocking on her door, like, Haley, what are you doing? I'm painting, mother. I've got a lot of work to do here.
Right.
She's already learned at a very young age what it means to work.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you can tell what kind of a worker she'll be.
Yes.
Great employee, by the way, when you need a job. Just remember, share this post in about 3 years because they're going to want you. Because we can tell you're a hard worker. Okay, so you did the paintings and the lemonade. We just saw what you raised in 2020, and then 2021. Let's put that back up, George. 2021, she raised how much? Because again, it just keeps going. Okay, that was 2021. Let's go back there. So I think it was 2,000. There we go. $2,210. So you keep going up. Now 2022, you raised what? 2,000, I believe. Was it right? Exactly 2,000.
Exactly.
Hello, people. What happened?
That was a hard year for some reason. I don't know really
We had it on the weekend, and I think there was a big storm,
Okay.
so she
just-
wasn't out there very long.
We know what happens in storms.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
she wasn't out there very long, so
Well, then that's huge.
Yes.
Because if she raised that much money,
I think it was
not
just
being
a
there.
couple hours, just
Oh.
one day, just a couple hours.
Now let me ask this because this is the big thing. For all of you that are on right now, actually, we'll get some comments from you. Let's see. Good morning. We have an original painting. Julie says. Julie, am I saying it right? Wolf's Law? Okay. Julie said she has an original painting and it's absolutely beautiful. You sound good. They're quiet. Oh. Well, I hope they can hear you. That's all I can say. Maybe I need to turn my mic to them. Please let me know if you can hear them, because that's what's important, that you can hear them well. So 2021, and then as you had mentioned, there was a storm in 2022, but she still raises $2,000. The question I have is, did anybody ever come and say, besides the lemonade stand where they're donating, they were then donating directly to you, like via Venmo?
Yes. Yes, there were a lot of people that couldn't make it on whatever day we would have it, and they would donate it through Venmo.
So you know, sometimes, Cass, that people will go, is this real? Did you ever hear anything like that?
No,
Good.
I think we had a lot of support from our friends and family, and I think everyone knows, that we really had the best intentions, and then we would post the checks on Facebook, when we would donate, so they could see that we were really following through with what we said we were going to do.
Well, yeah, she's for real here, folks. I wouldn't put her on if she wasn't. They're all connected to a very dear friend of mine that I've been personal training for a long time. Her name is Angie, and she told me about this story. Okay, Kathy says that she can hear. Terry says I can hear. Okay, good. If anything, I can pull the microphones. If anybody's hearing them softly, I will literally push the microphones to them a little. Yes, I can hear you all. Okay, maybe it fixed itself. So good. If you have any comments or questions, or you know Haley, and you want to tell a little bit about what you think of her, or if you don't know her, tell me what you think of her. Actually, there's 26 of you on live right now. Those of you that watch later, I'm going to make sure that she sees these comments. What do you think about this little girl? What can you tell your children about watching her so that they understand that they can thrive in life as well? Because look, you're going through a lot. And I asked my godchild actually to come on the show, and I hope she does after seeing you. So besides what you're doing, which is incredible, I mean, there's a lot of kids probably that you go to school with that have gotten to know you, and what do they say? They probably just absolutely adore what you're doing.
So I actually have a couple of my friends that will come down and help me at the lemonade stand.
Good.
Which I'm so thankful for that.
It's hard, right?
Yeah, because it sometimes gets hectic with everybody trying to come and then ask questions about it, and then they also want lemonade. It's just a lot to handle.
Well, and is she handling the money there also?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is a lot. And so you're already busy with your lemonade stand, or with your fireworks stand, and then she has a separate stand that she's handling, right?
Yes.
That is a lot on you. You're only 13 years old. You've gone from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you're 13 years old. How many people are there helping you?
So at the most I've had is 3.
3? Okay. She needs more help, because we're gonna keep making this big. Now, here's the deal. So here we are, 2023, and you set a goal because you said, and I quote, "The pandemic is over, let's go." Right? So what was the goal you set this year?
3,000.
3,000? That's a lofty goal, Haley. I don't know about that. Where are you right now?
Well, we are over that goal.
Exactly.
Right now.
Drum roll. This is where she is now, but I want to take her bigger.
So it's 3,526.
Yep, see, there you go. So there you are, $3,500 and growing. And this is why I wanted to bring Haley on, because I don't want it to stop here. Since you haven't given the check, Cass, in a couple of weeks. So we have 2 weeks, folks. Right now, I'm looking straight at you. I know you're a giving community. You came out for my friend Abby for her Indiegogo campaign and to help her with her music. She's recording with the Nashville Symphony Orchestra. You took that up to $40,000, okay? Let me just say, I know how big of a community you are. You also are helping baby Freya and her incredible fight. She has a long way to go. She's in the hospital, as you know, probably through the end of this year, and then we'll forever have 24/7 care. When we're talking about a blessing, as Haley just said, she hears a story like that and knows life can take you in so many different directions. So she has survived acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and now she is thriving as a 13-year-old, and she wants to give back. So why don't we step forward as a community and do that for her? So Cass and Haley, if someone's seeing this right now, or they're going to look at this replay later, obviously the lemonade stand's over. You just held it, what, a week or two ago, a few weeks ago?
Beginning of June.
Beginning of June or middle of June?
Beginning of June.
The beginning of June. End of June. In June, okay, when you were buying your fireworks. So that's wrapped up. But the giving doesn't have to stop there. So if they want to donate, what's their best way to donate?
They can donate to my Venmo,
Okay.
or to Camp Rainbow directly in honor of Haley.
In honor of Haley, okay. And we're going to bring on Heather Bachman, who is the executive director of Camp Rainbow, to talk a little bit more about Camp Rainbow how you can donate to them. We'll give a phone number. What is your Venmo? Do you know what the Venmo is? Okay, well, I'm going to have you get that
Okay.
so that we have it, because here's the problem. Oh, actually, Camp Rainbow said, we love the lemonade stand tradition. Thank you for supporting Camp Magic each year. You're amazing. Joy says, Haley, you're an inspiration for all ages. Bless all of you in this effort. Kathy says she loves your smile and your hard work. Haley is the sweetest, most genuine 13-year-old. Emma says she's lucky to have Haley as a friend. There you go. She's awesome and she's beautiful. She's brave and she's inspiring. And she's the sweetest soul. Oh my gosh, I love it. Keep those coming in. I do think that. I love your smile. I agree. That's the very first thing that I saw. We're going to take a break. I'm going to bring in Heather Bachman. She is the executive director of Camp Rainbow. We're going to keep Haley in here. I'm going to have you get your Venmo.
Okay.
Because I don't have a moderator right now. Michelle is slacking in Cabo San Lucas. I'm just kidding. Michelle deserves her time off. So Michelle is, again, in Cabo. So she normally is moderating for all of you. I don't know if Caroline is on. Caroline's my intern, and she was going to show up today, but she didn't. So I'm going to try to type this in, or if you can do it for me, that's what we'll do. We will make sure that Cass types in for you on the Facebook. Are you on Facebook? I hope. Okay. So make sure that you get on here, and if you can type it in there for them,
Okay.
so that they know what your Venmo is, and then we'll also give all the information for Camp Rainbow. So Heather and Haley in the blue chairs when we return. Don't go anywhere.
Carroll House is now the contemporary furniture design center.
We now have the largest selection of the latest ultra-modern furniture.
Sleek European designs, unique metals, bold lacquers, plush fabrics, and retro styles.
Modern furnishings with exclusive collections only at Carroll House.
Plus free financing, free delivery and setup, and free in-home design.
Visit the St. Louis Center for Contemporary Design inside our 3.5-acre showrooms at Carroll House.
Because you like nice things.
You know, of course, it's great to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 314-567-5585 or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com. 314-567-5585. And welcome back. It is 8:34, and yes, we are on a little bit later for you this morning. If you haven't heard, maybe you're just tuning in this morning. We had to come on an hour later because of some audio gremlins from the storms last night. But the community is here. I love to see those of you that are on live, and then do me a favor and share this post. It's the biggest thing I want you to do. I know a lot of people are not on Facebook, so I'm hoping you're watching on YouTube as well. Just go to my YouTube page, subscribe. That doesn't mean that costs you anything. It is just subscribing, meaning you're just clicking to follow, so that you get a notification when we're going on, which is usually at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. But I love the fact that we've got a community on a little bit later, and for those of you who can't be on live, you can share this for those that didn't get a chance to, so they can watch it on replay. Okay, there we go. In the comment section, for all of you that are on right now, Cass just posted her Venmo so that you can donate to Camp Rainbow through Haley and all of her efforts that she's been doing. So again, right now, if you're just tuning in, I've got Haley Tracy in one of the blue chairs, and then Heather Bachman is in with us now. Heather is the executive director with Camp Rainbow. Thanks for coming in, by the way.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for sticking around for the last hour and a half. I appreciate it. So first of all, what do you think of this little girl?
Oh my gosh, she's amazing. We just love Haley. She's been coming to Camp Rainbow, like she said, since she was little. I personally have known her since she started doing the lemonade stand. I was enjoying looking at all the pictures.
Yeah.
And she's wonderful. We love the Tracy family. They've given back in many ways in addition to the lemonade stand, and we love hosting her at camp, and look forward to her continuing to come.
Absolutely, and I know she's excited. We'll talk a little bit more about the fact that she's been going there since she was 4 and going through all this, but then you get to a point where it changes into a weekend thing, but there's also a sibling camp and a family camp to get them all involved, because that's it. You know, we lean in on our greatest support systems, which hopefully sometimes is your family and your friends and your siblings. Do you have siblings?
I have 2 brothers, an older one who's going to turn 19 on the 19th,
Oh, wow.
and then a little brother who is 9.
So 2 boys. Ah, the only girl. That's the baby girl. Okay, so sibling camp and family camp, we'll talk about that. But so Camp Rainbow, when did it start?
So Camp Rainbow started in 1988. We've celebrated about 35 years of camps,
Beautiful.
and like Haley mentioned, we have 7 camp programs. We kind of operate throughout the whole year. So we have our oncology camp, which Haley went to, as well as the day camp. So that's for children who've been diagnosed with cancer. But then, like you mentioned, we have our SIBS camp, and we have our family camp. We have a teen camp. We have a Teens in 20 program, which is a social club. And then we, like Cass mentioned, we do camping in the hospitals.
And so the idea for, and we're looking at pictures, obviously, as Heather's talking here. I love bonfires. Was that fun?
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually. Oh, there you are. Oh, slushies. It's hot.
cones.
Snow cones. Sorry, snow cones. Gotta say snow cones. Yeah, so we're just looking at some of the pictures from Camp Rainbow. So the idea for Camp Rainbow came from where, Heather?
So a couple started Camp Rainbow in 1988. Alan Brockman visited a sick child in the hospital as part of the Dream Factory, which is similar
Oh, yeah.
to a Make-A-Wish,
Sure.
and asked, what would your wish be? What can we do for you? And the child said, I'd like to go to camp, summer camp. And so Alan went home and he said to his wife, I think we got to make a camp. I don't know how we're going to do it. And so they worked together, and that first summer they held a camp with 10 volunteers and 28 counselors and 28 campers, and
Wow.
they did it, and we've done it every year thereafter. So we've served about 12,000 campers since
said
that
about-
first,
What,
Year.
88?
since 1988.
And
Yes.
so, obviously, when the word gets out about something like this and how incredible it is, it grows and grows and grows. How many have you had in camp? Let's just go all the way, 35 years later.
35 years, a little better than 12,000 campers.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Look at these pictures. Aren't they great? This is just, we're stepping through the time. Look at how young she was as she's gone through this. Seeing these pictures, what kind of memories does it bring back, Haley?
Very fun and happy memories from camp. I love everybody there, and I'm so happy to see them every single year. It's
Absolutely.
just what I look forward to.
And so you know a lot of people that have gone through a lot of hard times, just like you. Some that, as you had said earlier, Haley, are still going through some rough times, right? Are you faith-based? Do you pray for them?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, whether you did or you didn't, it's somehow we lean in on wanting better for them. You mentioned the word which is right above my fireplace, and it's the word blessed. And that is exactly what you feel that you are. And being able to be here and to be thriving and to be able to give back. Obviously, you know a lot of stories, Heather, that maybe don't turn out that way, right? You've been through a lot. How long have you been the executive director?
7 years.
7 years. So some hard stories, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Some
of
the top of
course.
the mountain and the bottom of the mountain.
Of course, yeah.
But it's the community. Do the people that maybe have lost, are they still tied in because they love what you did with their children?
They are. We have a lot of volunteers who continue to volunteer year after year. There's only 5 employees at Camp Rainbow, and so we make our camps happen with the help and assistance of about 250 volunteers. So a lot of those volunteers are survivors, or they're siblings of survivors. And then our sibling camp actually hosts bereaved siblings as well. So some of our sibling campers are actually the siblings of children who have gone on after their battle.
Absolutely, and that makes me think of something. So, Haley, your mom had told me that that you have actually been honored with an organization that I've emceed a lot for, which is the Light the Night. Tell me
Yes.
about that. What did they honored you for? What?
I can't particularly remember that.
Was this when you were younger?
Yes.
So obviously, the Light the Night, they do those walks, and a lot of times you'll hold balloons. It used to be balloons. I don't think they do balloons anymore
It's a
because they invite
lantern.
lantern. Yes, and it is for those that are going through the fight. A lot of times it is in memory of or in honor of, as someone is battling that. So they honor you, but you were the honored hero, right, at Light the Night. And then there was also a cocktails for camp that she told me about. That she was honored as well. Is that
had
right?
a lemonade stand there,
Ah,
and that's where I got those cups. Actually, they made so many of them, and I've had them ever since then. What year was that?
Oh, that must have been in like 2019, right before the pandemic.
there's the
So
cup.
I we haven't gotten any new cups since then, and these cups have lasted us all these years.
Wow, we didn't know who to make these cups. That's long lasting. It says Haley's Lemonade Stand to benefit Camp Rainbow. And again, camprainbow.com, by the way. I was just going to tell you how you could get more information. So, Heather, what do you think about this? She goes from $643 in 2017. They just told you they're at over $3,500 right now. But again, this show, I'm hoping, will help grow that. Who knows where we could go by the time she gives this check to you. She's pretty incredible.
It's
isn't she?
incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I mean, when we honored Haley at our Cocktails for Camp event, which is our annual fundraising event, we thought that was amazing at that point, and it's just it's just grown so much even bigger since then. It's incredible. We're so proud of her, and every year she sets a goal, and every year I think, oh, that's really high goal, and then she really hits that goal and always goes beyond the goal every year. So it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So she had mentioned before, pink lemonade and regular lemonade. So when you go to buy your fireworks, by the way, 141 and 21, I want you to support their family at the fireworks stand right there by the Quick Trip. But then that's where you'll also find her. You just do it for one weekend, right?
Yes. Sometimes it's one day, sometimes it's 2 days.
Okay. And how many hours are you out there?
This year we were out there for 3 hours each day.
And again, I remember seeing your post, and I think you were at $900, and you're like, great, we'll be there again tomorrow. And then suddenly it popped up to $3,100. How did that happen? Did you have a big donation?
Actually we had 2 big donations. So my grandma, she always donates
Way to go, Grandma.
like $500.
Yes, Grandma, go.
Which was amazing. But then I am so thankful to my hairdresser, actually,
Uh-huh.
because her family, apparently they've been saving up a lot of money, and they donated over, I think it was $670 is what they donated, which I was so thankful for.
Absolutely. Hairdressers are the best, right? Aren't they? They make us look beautiful, but look what they're doing with such incredible, kind hearts. Well, here's the thing. So Cass did put in the comments for you her Venmo. I'm asking you. I'm getting ready to donate as soon as this show is over. So we're going to continue to add to her $3,500 and growing. We have 2 weeks, folks, before she gives the check to Camp Rainbow. If you don't have a way to do Venmo, so I know some people don't have that. Heather, how could they donate? What's the easiest way for them to give to Camp Rainbow?
So it's super easy. You can give online at camprainbow.com. If you're not comfortable making an online donation, our address is listed on the page. You can always mail us a check as well.
And of course, so they'll keep in touch with me, and they can let me know if some of those checks come in a little bit later, and then they can just keep saying, hey, Monica, guess what? Just like we're keeping an eye on stuff that's going on with baby Freya, we can find out of the fact that you might be continuing to give for Camp Rainbow. So you just wrapped up the lemonade stand aspect. You're continuing to get the Venmo, and then hopefully today, and as this show continues to be watched, that you'll be getting more. Do you want to set a goal with my community? What would you like to give by the time that check gets to Camp Rainbow? Because once we set a goal, we've got to do this, folks. What do you want?
That is hard.
Speak it. Just say it. Just put it out there. What's in your gut? Come on, Haley. Do it.
Maybe another $1,000.
Okay, so she says $4,500. She wants to give a check for $4,500 in the next 2 weeks. That means this community would raise $1,000. Do you think that's something we can do? I do. In fact, I have chills because I know how giving you are. So here's the thing. You can give whatever. If it's $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, $100 in your means, whatever you can do. But the greatest way is that viral effect. So, you know all about social media. It's your
I
generation.
actually don't.
You don't have any? Well, you know about it, though. You know that
I
as you
know.
get
Yes.
older and older into your teen years, that TikTok's I'm not on TikTok, but that's your old big thing, isn't it? Or what else?
I don't have any of it.
But you hear about it, right? Isn't it TikTok?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. TikTok, Snapchat, those are the things I'm not on. But I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube. I'm going to blast this out, and I'm going to ask you all, because $1,000 to me, that's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. And she's making a huge impact. I'm asking you to do the same. So camprainbow.com. The Venmo is on here. Cass has put the Venmo address on here. So check that out for me, please. And then I'm going to be keeping an eye on this for her. So as you go forward, because I know you love setting goals, I know you did paintings and lemonade in the past. Do you think you ever have to add on to the lemonade stand anything else? Or are you just going to go back to just lemonade because that's the tradition?
I think it's going to be just lemonade from here on out.
Yeah.
But for 1 year, we did cookies because my dad has a friend who offered to make cookies with me.
Oh.
Which she's a lovely person, and I'm so happy about that. And so I was really happy about that, but that was a lot of work too.
Sure.
And then after paintings, I did not want to do paintings.
No more
so
painting.
we just brought some suckers that were free, but nobody really wanted them. So just lemonade for now.
Okay, and do you think you'll ever go to more than $1? No? Wow. I mean, come on, the government needs to learn from this. She's keeping that price the same way. We see the price of gas go up astronomical, the price of groceries go up. You don't need to buy lemonade in the store when she has her stand because you can get it fresh, and it's normally on a very, very hot day as you're going out to buy the fireworks. She knows that you need the hydration, and again, there's a lot of love and a lot of sugar that she said is put in this cup right here. I'm going to give a donation to this lemonade that you just gave me, okay? All right, so this is my donation, and we're going to watch this number go up in the next couple of weeks. I always love to do the follow-ups. I'm going to check in with the Tracy family and ask them where they are, and I'm going to ask that you, again, show up, be present, hear the message, realize what she's done. Let's go back to Heather for a second. So you said that you only have 5 employees, a lot of volunteers. So volunteers of all ages, because there's a lot of people that they go and retire and they think, well, I want to do something. So do you have volunteers of all ages?
We do, yes, we do. We the bulk of our volunteers obviously are in the summer for our summer camps, but we have volunteers all year long. We have volunteers in the form of businesses that will help us, stuff bags or count projects and get things ready. And then we have people who go into the hospitals, our camp-in volunteers. So we're always looking, and you can find a lot of information at our website at camprainbow.com.
And Haley was telling us about the different steps of the camp that you went through. So was this the last year that you could do the week-long camp?
Yes,
And
unfortunately.
I see, there's it. She said, unfortunately. That's how much she loves it. So now, from age 14 and 15, before you get to 16, you can go on the weekend? Is there a
Yes.
teen camp?
Yes, to teen camp. And it's more in the winter though.
Oh,
It's in November of every year. Yeah.
But can you volunteer during that time?
So teen camp is just for the teens to come
No,
and
but
have
for
fun.
the week-long one that she can't.
Oh, she'll be able to start volunteering when she's a little bit older. You have to be 16. Yes.
Oh, okay. So when you're 16, she wants to be a counselor, right?
Yes.
Look at the smile. Before we wrap up with this, just to bring it all home, Haley, Camp Rainbow, what, if you can give me like a paragraph that we were writing, what does it mean to you?
It is a family of this whole community that kids with cancer have together, and it's so much fun, and I love it, and everybody I know that goes there loves it so much, and everybody I know wants to become a counselor. They want to keep being involved with it, and it's just such a great
It's a wonderful organization, right? That
Yes.
just keeps giving back.
Yes.
Right? Because there's a lot of really hard things that those kids have gone through and stepped up through the years as a young child and then into grade school and they get into high school and then they want to give back, as she was saying, as a counselor. Do you see yourself always tied to Camp Rainbow?
Yes.
Yep.
It is my family.
Oh, there it is. I mean, literally, you know the expression, drop the mic. I don't want to say anything else except to give. Please, I want you to give. And again, there is a Venmo link on here. So let's look at some of the comments. So genuine, Kathy says, thank you, Haley. Courtney says, this is a great story. I'm taking over at Ridgewood as principal this year, and I'm excited to support her. Thanks for highlighting her story, Monica. Courtney, is this Courtney from my old days at WIO? Courtney, is that you? Oh, I just got to chill. I believe it is. And if it is, I'm going to tell you a fun story about Courtney. So you're at Ridgewood. Where are you going to high school?
I'm going to Fox.
Fox C6? Yep. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I would like to do something with animals. My dream is to be a veterinarian at a zoo.
I think this child is my godchild. Because here's the deal. When I used to ask Kylie, and I hope Kylie gets a chance to see the show, she wanted to be a veterinarian. I'm serious. It's freaking me out a little bit. Same shorts, same demeanor, same idea. I don't know what she wants to be anymore, but this is really, really cool. So again, as a community, before we wrap up, so you've been through a lot, obviously, from going through cancer and surviving and thriving now. But just where you are in life, and this is what I always, whenever I get a kid in my blue chair, I want to ask this. You go through, not you in general, but just the children that you're around, the teenagers that you're around. We talk about bullying, and I've had a show on bullying. Do you see a lot of that, not just bullying in person, but social media bullying is another step up, because there are some people, you're not on social media, which I think is a good thing. That's a good thing. Mom and Dad, you're doing it right. But I'm sure you hear about it. And what are the biggest things that you are all facing right now?
I think it's kind of like making fun of people that are different than you, like people that have disabilities, people make fun of, which that is not okay because they are still a person.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what they're going through, you should still support them for who they are.
Woo! It's gonna make me cry here. Your mom and dad have done a wonderful job, but it always is, where do we take it from there? So this young girl is blessed, but more so we are, to be able to tell her story. I am, thanks to Angie. Do you know my friend Angie, or is she just friends with your mom?
I know Angie.
Do you know Angie? So Angie and I have known each other for many, many years, and she told me about this. I'm glad, it's the way things work out, because we had another guest that was scheduled today that had to cancel, and it's all beautiful how God works. And we were meant to have her on because I wanted to get her before she gave that check. So again, we have just a few minutes left in the show. Well, let's do a recap for you. We're talking with Haley Tracy, and Haley was stricken with acute lymphoblastic leukemia 1 week after her 1 year birthday. And for 2.5 years, she had chemotherapy. And then she was told she is cancer-free, which is the most beautiful thing to be able to hear. When she heard that, she knew she wanted to continue to give back. She was able to go to Camp Rainbow when she was 4. There are different aspects of the program that they have at Camp Rainbow. We didn't ask this. Heather, where is Camp Rainbow held?
Camp Rainbow is held at several different camp locations
okay.
in the St. Louis area. So the camp that Haley's been going to for so many years is at Babbler, which is located in Wildwood.
Yeah, okay, but it could be changing around.
So our SIBS camp's at Camp Wyman in Eureka, and
Okay.
our family camp is at Trout Lodge in Potosi, Missouri.
Ah, wonderful place. Oh, I love it. Okay, so again, 35 years later, Camp Rainbow's been doing some great things, but the only way that they can continue to that is by volunteerism and by donations. And here's just one way we would love for you to donate. In Haley's honor, through the Venmo that Cass put on here earlier, or directly through Camp Rainbow, because I know some of you don't have Venmo or don't have PayPal, things like that. This would be through their Venmo, and if you don't want to go that route, then you can go to camprainbow.com, or what's the phone number again, Heather?
The phone number is 314-469-8035.
Okay, so you can do it that way. Go back, again, if you didn't get a chance, maybe you're driving and you're listening, which I love that. You throw your earbuds in and maybe you go for a walk, or you patch it through your radio while you're driving. Don't try to write something down, just go. It'll be there for you afterwards. And then share this today. I want this to be a very big one, that you share, so we can get to her goal. I'd like for you to surpass the goal. So she's at $3,500 and growing, with donations still coming in to their Venmo and then from the stand itself. But now where can we go from here? From today, which is what, the 17th, July 17th, until I think it's the first week or so of August that they're going to be giving their check to Camp Rainbow. She said, how about $4,500? So $1,000 extra dollars from this community is what I'm asking for you to do, okay? Big giving community, I know that you are. All right, yes. So Courtney is going to be taking over as principal. All right, let me tell you something about Courtney. I used to be the host at WIL for many, many years, country station. Do you listen to country music at all? Okay, so I was there for 7 years, and Courtney worked with us, and he is incredible. So if he's going to be the principal there, you have to let me know. You got to stay in touch with me and tell me if he's really as good as I tell you he is. He's a good guy. And I was there when he got engaged in Las Vegas, which was a really, really cool thing. I had to keep that secret. So that was a fun thing that he went through. Angie just said, thank you, Haley, for your generous heart. You are truly amazing. All right, Angie and Courtney and all of you, let's see just how giving you all are as we give in her honor. Haley, thank you for being my guest today.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for what you're doing to this world, and I'm so glad that you're here, that you're thriving, and that you're one of the miracles that God chose to stay here, because we never know. Life is so unbelievably short, people. Here's the deal. She understands that. I do too, after living through my blood clot. So when we tell stories like this, it's to try to get it into your mind and in your heart and into your spirit, to understand that those little pebbles that you have in life, those little arguments, and so what, laundry got left on the floor, stop. Embrace the love that you have around you. Understand your blessings. As she said, she feels she's a blessing, as do I. We're here to give back to the world. I can't wait till she's your veterinarian and she's taking care of your animals. I can't wait to continue to follow her story. Cass and Phil, by the way, thank you for your time, for bringing her in. And Heather, thank you so much. CampRainbow.com. Let's hit this goal and let's surpass this goal. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to wrap up. And today, we're going to talk about 100 days to freedom from anger. So it's so easy to get angry when you're stricken with something like she was, or any aspect of anything that goes wrong in life. We're going to get you past that. That's when we return here on The Real Monica Adams Show. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online EnvitaHealthandWellness.com. And welcome back at 8:56. Wasn't she incredible? I promised you, once we finally got on the air, that you would have an absolutely incredible story from one of our younger 13-year-olds that are thriving in life. So I want you to understand that there are some really great kids, really great adults, wonderful seniors. It runs the gamut. It's so easy to say, oh, those kids, oh, those millennials. Nope, you just heard from one of our youth, of just how incredible she is and what she's done with her life and how she's thriving. So again, the comments, you can look for the Venmo or go directly to camprainbow.com. As we wrap up our final moments, 100 Days to Freedom from Anger. And this is how we wrap up, by the way. For those that normally are not on with us, thank you in this 8 o'clock hour. And don't forget to share this post on YouTube and on Facebook so that you can let others know that we want to raise another $1,000 before they give that check. So the final is, what's the problem? What's causing the quarrels and the fights among you? Don't they come from the evil desires at war within you? You want what you don't have, so you scheme and kill to get it. You're jealous of what others have, but you can't get it, so you fight and wage war to take it away from them. Yet, you don't have what you want because you don't ask God for it. That's James 4, verse 1 through 2. You know, sometimes we can't figure out how to get along with people. It feels like everyone is trying to complicate our lives. Maybe we feel like avoiding people altogether to get some peace. Sometimes the difficulty lies in accepting that it's not always someone else's fault. If we believe there is always someone else to blame, we miss the opportunity to discover what's at the core of the issue. We will continue to find ourselves struggling to find contentment, connect in healthy relationships, and enjoy peace. Not every battle that comes our way is one that we have to fight. Some battles actually belong to the person bringing it into your life. Other battles are opportunities for us to learn the art of patience. When struggling with interpersonal conflict, start this. Start by asking God to reveal what's really going on. Ask Him to reveal the truth about the situations that seem to be causing the issue. We can be vulnerable and honest with God about what or whom we are struggling with and seek to understand what might need to change inside us. Being defensive and reactive to everyone steals life and joy. Contentment and peace are found when we have deep connections with God. So if you spend your time hoping someone will suffer the consequences for what they did to your heart, then you're allowing them to hurt you a second time in your mind. Anger, it's an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it's poured. Anger, it's a paralyzing emotion. You can't get anything done. People sort of think of it's an interesting, passionate, and igniting feeling. I don't think it's any of that. It's helpless. It's absence of control. That comment from Toni Morrison. So today's prayer. Lord God, I desire your peace for my life instead of strife. Search my heart and show me the places where I need your wisdom and your forgiveness. Thank you for your grace and your mercy in my life, and help me offer this to others. Amen to that. What a great hour we've been able to have together. And again, for those of you that are brand new to the show and that you came on in an hour that we're normally not on, thank you for being here with us. For those that are going to watch this later on replay and wonder where were we were here for you. We just came on a little bit later. So please, wherever you receive the message, however you see the message, understand that yes, you might be going through some hard times, but just like this little girl, you can thrive again. She survived, and she is striving to be greater. She's striving to be a veterinarian. She's striving to give back to the community, and boy, is she thriving. We can learn a lot from her. So camprainbow.com. Let's get that $1,000 extra before she gives them that donation. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your patience today, for being here with us. We've got another great show for you tomorrow with Equus Rescue Therapy. Speaking of animals, we're going to have that organization on and the wonderful things that they're doing through the therapy with, you hear a lot of times of what the horses can do for so many that are struggling with mental health, PTSD, depression, you name it. Equus Rescue Therapy. I'm going to introduce you to them and the wonderful people involved. Thank you so much. Go out and show your kindness to the world.